Hello, my name is Larry Skinner. I'm the Chief Operations Officer here at FlexKom America Incorporated headquarters in Henderson, Nevada, just outside of Las Vegas, Nevada. If you're in the area, and people come to Vegas all the time, all year round, please feel free to drop by the office. If you're bringing more than yourself and maybe one other person, send us an email at americansupport@flexkom.com. We've had it in the past where over 100 people kind of showed up at random, so we want to try and manage that for the fire marshal's sake. So if you're coming by the office and you're going to have more than a couple people, send an email to americansupport@flexkom.com. Tell us when you're coming by the office and how many people in your party, so that we can kind of manage having people drop by here and not get over the standing requirement to have less than, say, 100 people in any particular one of these office complexes. All right, so we are going to keep going down the road here. What we've been doing this week is putting up videos that will teach you what you need to know to go and sign up a merchant, complete the contract, then go create their account, and then go and put a terminal in their business and activate the terminal and the cards. All those videos are up in our YouTube channel. The YouTube channel is Power to Change, P-O-W-E-R, the number 2, and then C-H-A-N-G-E, Power to Change, all one word. You can search for that in Google. Or you can send an email to americansupport@flexkom.com and say, I want the YouTube channel, plus might as well get all of our other social media contacts together. What we're going to do is the same protocol we've been doing all this week. We're going to be doing it next week as well. Next week is where we're going to take you through. So now I am a DMR. Now I'm a partner. What do I do? The assumption is this is your first day of being in FlexKom, or you're re-engaging, and now that we're in phase 3, you've been out of touch for a while. How do I build my business? We're going to talk about that next week. This week we're going to finish up today with some more talk, hopefully, from Larry HOLCOMB. It looks like he's online as well. Have him kind of get us into the flow here. Today we're going to cover the merchant agreement. We have a video that's posted up on our YouTube channel by our co-CEO, JEANNE Mullen. And that video walks you through completing that form. So we've talked about the KTM relinquishing their ownership, and now this is a merchant agreement, so that takes care of a KTM signing up a merchant. These are the 2 forms that they would use. Tomorrow we'll have the form for a DMR who's a VIP, and they have a terminal that's in pristine condition, and they want to use it to in a merchant's. We'll have that contract up. And then they will also be taking care of the K1 through K20 who want to put their terminal into a merchant. And then that finishes out this week. You'll have those videos. We'll talk about that. And we'll get back to next week talking about the process for a brand new partner to build their business by signing up other partners and signing up merchants. That's what we'll cover next week. And then you'll have a series of videos and tutorials that will walk you through everything you need to know to be a partner. And you can go out there, and you can go out there right now and sign up, but you can go out there with confidence by watching the video that our co-CEO, JEANNE Mullen, did today, and watch that a couple of times, and you will have it down. The way that we put these videos up and we shoot them, it walks you through line by line by line how to complete these forms. And then the videos on how to activate a terminal and activate a card, that video is self-explanatory. The video on how to set up a merchant account, straightforward. All right, so what we're going to do first right now is we're going to open this up only to people who are having events. The first people we want to talk to would be George K. or Gary Elvis Britt, anybody that's doing or is involved in the Orlando event. So hold on for one moment. Okay, so the only people we want to talk to right now are people that are associated with this Orlando event for this weekend. So if we have anybody that's associated with that event, go ahead and hit star and then 6, and go ahead and let's promote that event. Give them a moment here. Okay, so since we're not, we don't have. It doesn't look like we have George K. or Gary Elvis. So what we'll do is I'll just cover it. So what we're talking about is a big event in Orlando, Florida that is coming up this weekend. That is August the 23rd. That's on a Saturday. That's in Orlando, Florida. There are still tickets available from what I can see. You can get those tickets at FlexOrlando.com. That's FlexOrlando.com. FlexOrlando.com. That is a website where when you go there, you'll see that you can purchase your tickets. The tickets are $39 early bird and per person, so $39 per person. That $39 gets you into this exclusive rooftop meeting place, a beautiful restaurant, and it includes a meal. And also thrown into the deal, thrown into the bargain, is you can walk out of there with your certification, because none other than Country Manager Bill Resides is going to be there. He is certified to certify you, so you can walk out of there with certification. There is a biz op that goes from noon to 1 on that same day. So this event starts at noon, goes till 7 p.m. There's a biz op there, so bring your prospects there. You know somebody who lives in the Orlando area, or you live in the Orlando area, or you know somebody who knows somebody that lives in the Orlando area. You definitely want to check out your warm market there and get them there to have professionals like George K. and like Gary Elvis Britt, and, of course, Jason Marks, who's putting this whole thing on. Have them talk to your warm market and get your warm market interested. Once again, my word for the month is engage. We need you to engage with the person that brought you in. If they're not responsive, then engage with the person that brought them in. Engage with the person, any persons that you bring in. Engage with people. So you're engaging with your upline, you're engaging with your downline, and engage with your sideline. Anybody and everybody that you know needs to know that you are a DMR for FlexKom. And this event here in Orlando is another great way for you to integrate that with them, engage with them, get them to an event that's going to energize them and take them off the fence and get them into your organization. You definitely want to do that. Hey, yes, sir.
Hey, this is Gary Elvis down here in Tampa. I wanted to add something to that.
Go ahead.
Yeah, if a person, and it's good to talk to you again, my friend. We've been on the road. It's one of those things where some people we came across said they had lost track of their sponsor and therefore they dropped out. What we recommend is that you look for lost people that had an interest by just talking around the community, talk to people that were at meetings, try and find some of the disconnected folks. And if there are people interested out there, if they don't know where their sponsors are, perhaps they can be found, or if they're in the backlog of the email. When we first started, we had emails. We collected emails of our people. We can send emails out, and I highly recommend that you look through all of your emails in your back office, because you'll have kissing emails, and some of those kissing emails are from people that were highly interested. Just wanted to throw that out.
Absolutely. That's a great idea. And, in fact, you're the perfect person to give a little bit more information about this Orlando event. Anything else you want to say about this Orlando event, please feel free to say so.
Well, yeah, George K. and I, we're going to be coming in on Friday afternoon, so there will probably be some impromptu things Friday night for those that are local. And then, of course, we're going to have an all-day session. It's going to be great information, and of course, it's headed up by our great personality, Jason Marks. And I call him a personality because he travels around like he's a celebrity, and he really is. And he's got a great team there. We're going to have, of course, our country manager, Bill Resides, and whenever he's at an event, of course, you've got a wealth of knowledge and a wealth of enthusiasm. And so the great leadership we've got there, there's just a number of other folks that are going to be there. Of course, myself, Mike Livingston, George K. We are going to have a great event, and we encourage you to, if you're within a couple of 3 hours, I took a trip, a round trip of about 18 hours, and it was both ways, so I guess it's 36 hours of traveling this past week. And, it's one of those things where it's great to see people. I was on the road. I saw Steve Cobb, saw some individuals out there under him, Les Morris. There's a tremendous groundswell that's happening, but you got to get to these meetings, because here's the importance of the regional meetings like this. You see leaders at work, and I think everybody on this call is either a leader or a potential leader. And there's so much potential with what we have in FlexKom and what we have in the near future that we all need to be in the know, so to speak. And these meetings give you all the information that you need. And you got to remember this, Larry. A lot of times you get more information between the sessions than you might in the session itself. So we encourage everyone to get tickets, and I believe it's FlexKomOrlando.com, and the tickets are $49 at the door, $39 ahead of time, and we encourage everybody to come on down.
Yeah, this is the Citrus Club. This is a great club, exclusive club. You get special entrance here, and thrown into the bargain at no additional charge, certification. If you've already been certified, then you want to hear the current things that we're saying regarding certification, because Bill will talk about the actual forms that you're going to fill out and talk about the actual procedures that you're going to do, as opposed to the certifications. Like the first certification classes were mostly Peter Gunevalt and Asker talking about the opportunity and the history of the company and things like that, because we're in early parts of phase, the middle phase 2 to early parts of phase 3. Now we're in phase 3. And the actual forms are out there, the actual procedures are out there, and the videos are in your hands at Power to Change. So this is a certification class that if you've been certified before, you're still going to want to attend that certification so that you can know exactly how to go out the day after you attend this event and sign up a merchant immediately.
Yes, and we're going to be, Ron Jenna is just a tremendous individual. He hosted that big Florida event that we had 3 weeks ago, and he and I are going to be talking to some of his merchants on Thursday. I'm driving 3 hours round trip to be there with him, and all you have to do is just plant a few seeds, follow up. We're putting together that survey we talked about last week. We've got a lot of input. There's a lot of great ways with no obligation to go in and talk to any merchant owner at any time. And you've got something like Ray Siegelman always says down in Mobile, you're there to help. And a lot of times, they're a little cautious, anyone that comes in, especially if it's someone you haven't seen in a long time or someone you never have met. They're inundated with salespeople. We come in with the idea that we're there to help them, and here's some ideas. Have you thought about this? We'd love to talk to you more. And it's a very low-key approach. There's no rush, because, guys, we got 25 million businesses. We don't need to hurry and rush one person in and run them away. But if we're attractive as a professional business person, we've got something that will tremendously help them. And as this thing continues to build, we're going to have teams that are going to, and like I say, we use the cluster. We're using the cluster approach down here because we know it works. It's worked in Mobile, it's worked in Chattanooga, and what we're going to do here in the next 5 to 6 days, and possibly before Saturday, we're going to put some final touches on one of the approaches, one of the survey approaches that's had a lot of effect, and all of these things just tell you that you just need to talk. That's all it is. Don't hold in, even though there might be a couple of vowels or a couple of consonants out of the paragraph right now. Don't worry so much about the small detail, because the larger effect is that we've got something that can unify the small business world, the small business community, and that's what we need to present. And I'm just proud to be a part of it, Larry.
Fantastic. We're proud and happy to have you. Always a great representation from you, Gary. Just wonderful.
Well,
so thank you for that. And we also have, so once again, that's flexorlando.com. And George often gives his text number, so you want to text your information. Basically, he has several biz ops that go on Monday and throughout the week. So you want to text your name and your information to 772-201-3259. That's 772-201-3259, and engage with George K. and all that he's doing. You have a great teams down there in Florida showing America how it's done, and got to thank you very much for that, Gary. Thank you.
Well, it's a pleasure, and we're going to be we'll sit back here and enjoy the line, and then, of course, we've got our AJ Krause call in about 15 minutes, so I'll go ahead and drop back and listen, and we just appreciate all you do, Larry.
Well, thank you very much, and keep up the great work out there, okay?
Thanks.
You're very welcome. All right, let's see. Taking a look here. It's not showing on my system, but if we have Larry Holcomb on the call, go ahead, Larry, and let us know you're here.
I'm here.
There he is. Okay, great. Go ahead and promote this Thursday meeting.
This Thursday seems to be going to be an exciting evening. We've got more and more people traveling for 100 miles to come in to visit with us. It's going to be at Caffeine Addicts, Ringo, Georgia, this Thursday, the 21st, from 7 to 9. And you can bring merchants, you can bring anybody, but if we don't need a merchant show up, the main topic will be how to go to merchants and what you do when you get there. So look forward to everybody coming. I think it's going to be a great meeting. I'll tell you about how I approach merchants, and even Bill Resides will be there. So we're glad to have him in our back door. He's going to stop by before he takes off to Florida for the next day.
Fantastic. And if you could stay near, because we're going to do kind of like what we did yesterday, have you kind of do a little intro. Today we're going to be talking about the merchant agreement. That's that 19-page long form that needs an initial on every page and all that. We're going to talk about that. But first we're going to kind of have you give us a little couple of hints as we go into it, if that's okay by you.
That's great. I've got Jeanne. I'm watching as she goes through her presentation. Thank y'all so much for putting that up. And every night when I get on the call, and I'll advise everybody, get YouTube on another, what do you call it, a page or window, and just turn it on and listen to, don't listen to the video, just let it play while we're on Larry's call, because that just gives us more hits. Is that correct, Larry?
That's right. So you just turn the sound down on your computer. You can split your screen, and then you can kind of go along with this. And we're going to take it from the top all the way down to the bottom. Now, Jeanne does cover in very good detail a great presentation for the merchant agreement. But this is the big one where we get the most questions about it. And so this video that we have here that Jeanne did should answer 98% of your questions. And for those of you who haven't looked at it, it's going to make it less daunting. Yeah, it's 20 pages, and yeah, there's legalese in there, and I don't speak legalese, but it's in there. And that when you get to that first paragraph could knock some people out where they're like, what does that all mean? Jeanne covers that. So we'll definitely do that. Let me do this. Let's ask if anybody else is having a meeting that they want to promote on this conference call. We'll have Larry come back and do the preamble for this tutorial that we're doing today, but anybody else with a meeting only, that's what we're talking about in this the first part of this conference call, go ahead and hit *6 and tell us about your meeting.
Larry, George K., how are you?
Hey, George, good to have you on the call.
Thank you. Actually, last night we signed up a new person, so that's why I wasn't able to get on the call and share information. I know Larry did an incredible job with you. I kind of got the information after the call, so it was great. Great job as always, Larry. You're doing an incredible job there with the merchants, and I love your servant's heart and helping everybody, and that's what it's all about. So there's no I in team, as we all know. Together we'll achieve more. And so I wanted to go ahead and announce that every Monday night, except for Labor Day weekend, because I'll be in Pennsylvania with my family, celebrating my pre-birthday. September 4th is actually my birthday, so I'm going to take a few days off with the family, but of course I'm sure FlexKom will be a topic because one of my brother-in-law has a small business, so certainly I'm sure it'll come up. I'll make sure of that, actually. So obviously, even though I'll be away, we won't have a meeting, but other than that, every Monday night, 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, it's a meeting from 7 to 8 in West Palm Beach, Florida, which I go ahead and share the information for people that want to invite their guests, or certainly they are welcome as well. It's free. There's no cost. It's at George Sanos, which is one of the people that I personally brought into the business. He's an attorney, prominent attorney here in West Palm Beach. The address is 1616. I'm sorry?
It's actually, go ahead. No, I see what's wrong. Hold on for 1 second. Jude, I'm going to have to mute you out, Jude. Hold on.
Is this better?
Hold on for me. 1 second. Okay, go ahead.
Can you hear me better now?
Yes.
Okay, sorry about that. I was on speaker. You couldn't hear me while on speaker?
No, basically, Jude had maybe accidentally unmuted herself, and so you got feedback.
No worries. Okay, so anyway, so can you hear me now, guys?
Perfect.
All right, perfect. Not area code, excuse me. Well, area code, actually, you can text me, which is the best way to communicate with me. Let me know who's coming. I'll be glad to welcome them on your behalf, and let me know, of course, your name that you invited the guest, so I can certainly follow up and let you know and what's happening. And so area code 712. That's my 5:30 call. Let's get this straight. Area code 772-201-3259, and I'll repeat that. Area code 772-201-3259. That is my phone number on my mobile phone to text me. Please text me. That's the best way to communicate with me, and I will respond. And certainly if you'll, let me know who's coming. We start at 7 o'clock sharp on Monday night, 7 to 8 o'clock, because we respect people's time. It's a business. And so the address is 1615 Forum Place, Suite 500 in West Palm Beach. And I'll repeat that. 1615 Forum Place, Suite 500 in West Palm Beach from 7 to 8 o'clock. Then in addition to that, also, Larry, which we had a great turnout this past week, I host a call every Monday night for people that want to put their guests on. And Dr. Joey Bird, who's the country manager with his partner Bill Resides, they do an incredible job. And he did an incredible job in sharing the information about, FlexKom America and what we're doing here as a business opportunity. So that phone number is also, I'll give that out twice. It's area code 712-432-1500. That's area code 712-432-1500. PIN number is 190999 pound. That's 190999 pound. And obviously you can get on that call and get your guests on that call, 5:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time to 6 p.m., a great call that I host. I do the welcome and introduction, welcoming everybody from all over the country. And we've had people calling in from all over the country and also in other parts of the world. So it's exciting to host that call, and it's all designed for everybody to invite their guests and obviously give them the opportunity to hear about this incredible business, FlexKom America, and obviously, take them to the next level. Then in addition to that, this next, Saturday from 12 to 7 p.m., we're going to be in Orlando, and it's going to be an unbelievable event, and that is between the hours of 12 till 7, and it's going to include, which is really exciting, it's going to include certification. Now, the certification is free. The thing about the cost, it's for the dinner, and it's going to be a great dinner at the Citrus Club in Orlando. If you haven't already done so, get online and register. FlexOrlando.com. Go to FlexOrlando.com and register. Most likely will be sold out, so please get your tickets now, because if you miss out, obviously, and you're not certified, then certainly till we get the certification online, you'll have to wait for that. So anyway, what we want to do is we want to get as many people there and get them certified for free. And in addition to that, of course, have a great time learning about A to Z, what to do to take your business to the next level, obviously merchants and all that. And what's also going to be exciting is a great time and a great meal together, and that's $39 at the door. It'll be $49 only if there's tickets still available. Otherwise, if it's sold out, then that's that. So anyway, it's going to be an exciting time this weekend in Orlando. I know our country manager, Bill Resides, is on his way down. Mike Livingston, sales director, and also I know Eric Stennett, the country manager for Georgia, is going to be there, and, of course, myself. And I know we've got the Tampa Bay core team there, which is very exciting, and, of course, my good friend Gary Elvis Brett, the regional coordinator for that area. So it's going to be exciting. We're going to start off in the first hour from 12 to 1 for merchants and then also for guests. So they're going to get an opportunity if they do sign up as guests and become a FlexKom team member, DMR. Then what happens is they'll obviously go ahead and do the $3.99, and they'll be able to attend the rest of the day and get certified for free. So, Larry, it's a pretty exciting week, and I just wanted to let you guys know that anything I can do to help, I'm only a phone call away, and I wish everybody all the best and to everybody success.
Oh, give that Next Team website.
I'm sorry?
nextlevelteam.net?
Yeah, it's thenextlevelteam.net. You need to sign up for the blog radio. And, of course, also from there you'll get all the meetings that we're doing. I know Pat and Gordon are doing a meeting also in Atlanta on Thursday nights. Once again, I don't have the address in front of me, but they do a great job. So there's a lot of opportunities here to invite your guests. And, of course, the calls on Monday night is designed as a call for guests, and it's from 5:30 to 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time.
Fantastic, George. Great leadership. Engage with George's team. Engage with the Next Level team. Just get engaged here. When we get emails from people saying that they don't feel that they're supported, we're like, okay, how is that possible? Corporate, we're here every night, 6 p.m. Pacific, 9 p.m. Eastern, usually for about an hour. The next few weeks, we're doing this tutorial here for everybody. You have these meetings around the country focusing on Florida this Saturday. Definitely have to be there. You know somebody that lives in Florida. Get them to this event. $39 is a bargain for the Citrus Club and the meal that you're going to have there, and then thrown into boot at no additional charge, you have that certification there by none other than Country Manager Bill Resides. Come on, this is an event you need to get to. George, thank you very much. Awesome leadership. You're incredible. Thank you.
Thank you, Larry.
You're welcome. Okay, so if we have anybody else that has a meeting that we haven't covered, go ahead and hit *6 and promote your meeting. Otherwise, we're going to get started with our tutorial for today. Give people a couple of seconds here because sometimes it takes a second or two for it to kick over. All right, if you do have a meeting and we didn't get to it, then send an email to americansupport@flexkom.com and tell us the venue, the address of the place, the timing of the place, and any sort of contact information for your event. We'll get it into the back office. We'll get it up on Facebook. We'll get it up on Twitter. We will just completely promote it. So hold on for one moment. Okay, so what we're going to do right now is we posted a video up on our YouTube channel. Our YouTube channel is Power to Change, Power, the number 2, CHANGE, all one word. If you search for that on YouTube, you will find our page. The icon for our YouTube page is a POS 4S terminal. May be familiar to you, so you just look for that. And I'm doing here again on a computer that I've never gone to YouTube on, and just making sure that that's what comes up. And you'll see other things. There's other people that have now named themselves Power to Change, but you'll see a POS 4S terminal and Power to Change, where it's all one word, and that's kind of the link that's there. When you click on that, it'll take you to our Power to Change channel. It'll look like there's only one video there, which is the kind of a blue version of Planet Earth. That's our 3-minute overall overview of the FlexKom opportunity. You can watch that video at your convenience, but in order to get to the video that we're talking about, above the blue Earth there, you want to click on where it says Videos. And then in Videos, you'll see there's some 50 videos or so left up there. The most recent one is how to complete the merchant agreement, and it says September 2014. That's the video that we're talking about, where our co-CEO, JEANNE Mullen, walks you through that 19-page document, the merchant agreement. She explains the appendices, I believe is how you say it in plural. So for those of you who've been writing in asking for more clarification, this is from our co-CEO, JEANNE Mullen. Perfect opportunity here. So as you heard other folks say there, you could start playing the video in just a second here. Let me turn off this sound here and then get up here. And I'm about to click the video. I'm going to try and pace myself with this. It's also in your back office under Merchant Agreement. Let me see where that is. Let me go in here. And I'm just getting all these things set up so that however you want to sync up with me, we'll be kind of synced on this. So hold off, pause the video on the first part of it here, and I'm going to find where this form is in your back office. And this is a required form to basically, this is the merchant agreement that the dealer, the merchant, the Kobe signs in order to be in our opportunity. And yes, the certification at this event in Orlando, Florida, you're getting certified by country manager Bill Resides, and you have a great team of support there to do role-playing, things like that. It is going to be a great event and a great learning for you. But in the meantime, we get so many people who are saying, I just signed up as a DMR, and how do I sign up a merchant? This is how you do it. And until we get the certification procedures from Europe, from Flex Academy, technically we can't officially certify you, but since we're in Phase 3, you can sign people up now with these steps that are in this YouTube channel. So the form that we're talking about is under downloads, and then Kobe contracts, and then merchant agreement -USA. All right. So you should have that form ready. And then if you're watching the video over at Power to Change, I'm about to get started on this right now. So we're going to take it from the top, page 1. And there we go. So this is Jeanne's talking there. You can turn down the sound and watch this video after this is over. But basically what we're doing is we are going through this step by step. You start at the top. Jeanne explains what you're looking at, and what you're looking at is some legalese that talks about the basic parameters of what this agreement is covering. You must note that at the bottom of every page there's a place for the merchant to initial. We need the merchant to initial so that they are stating by initialing that they have read that page. You really do want them to read this. You want to walk through this with them so that they understand everything. The recitals there tell you what the basic parameters are, and that's how you set up any agreement. If you've never seen an agreement before, this is a fairly standard format. And then after you set up the parameters of who people are and what people are relative to this contract, then you set up some of the things that are to be defined throughout this document. And once again, it's an initial at every page. You have that video in the Power to Change to watch. I'm just kind of giving you an overview as we watch her. That video is about 25 minutes long, and we don't have 25 minutes to cover this. But as you can see, if you turn down the sound and you're having that video scrolling, it's on page 2 by now. And basically just kind of defining each of the different parameters and the parties in this contract, then defining the requirements and the obligations of each party. The critical thing to remember is that the form will be rejected if we don't have that merchant's initials on every single page. Jumping here to the chase, once again, the video is still rolling on my screen, and if you're kind of doing this along with me, probably the questions that we get the most is about the payments, how ACH is set up. The options are ACH. The option is either ACH or paying with a credit card for the merchant remunerating us. That's their choice. Once again, the video goes into detail on that. It's about 25 minutes long. I think it's exactly 25 minutes long on the button. And so it goes into greater detail than I'm doing here. I'm just going along and making sure that we cover everything. And once again, every single page, there's an initial required from the merchant, not from you, from the merchant. And then when you get down to page... Let's see, I think it's page 11 or 12. Here we go. 13, page 15. There it is. So starting on page 15, that's where the FlexKom merchant agreement needs to be filled out and signed by both parties. That's where the signatures start. You're going to need to have all of this completed, the name of the business, the signature of the merchant, the authorized representative of the merchant, the date of this transaction, the printed name and title of that person, the merchant's FlexKom ID number. Now, you're probably thinking, well, Larry, you said that this form had to be finished first before the FlexKom ID number is generated. That is effectively right. You could do this while you're there with the merchant and create the account once the merchant is signing these documents. That's how serious this is. We're in Phase 3, and we don't want anybody to be filling to get have a merchant account created unless they're serious, unless they're signing paperwork. It only takes a couple of moments to create the merchant account at FlexKom.com. Only create a merchant account if it's for a real merchant, not to set up a demo account for them, not to do anything other than set up a real account for a real merchant who's signing the documents. It takes a couple of minutes to create that account. You can do that while you're sitting there with them, while you're filling out these forms, and then you'll put that merchant ID number in the form there. So, once again, create no fake accounts, create no test accounts, create no demo accounts to convince a merchant to come in. Larry Holcomb would tell you that's not effective. That's not an effective way to do this. And in fact, I forgot that I had Larry on hold here. So I'm going to get back to the bottom here. When you're talking about all those things, we're going to hopefully Larry's still there. We're going to bring him back up here. But basically, the form will be signed by yourself as the sponsoring party, as a sponsoring DMR, signed by the merchant, and then it'll come to us. You'll fax it to us or email it as an attachment, and then we'll sign it here. It'll be our co-CEO, Jeanne Mullen, will sign it and date it and so forth. And then basically you have the choice of Appendix A. Appendix A, B, and C. The combination would be Appendix A and Appendix B, or Appendix A and Appendix C. It's those two combinations. Jeanne goes into that in great detail in this video that's playing there. And then basically that gets you down to the bottom. And then the very last page is where, that's page 19. And in page 19, that is where it's basically kind of like a file header for us. We need you to complete that merchant name, merchant ID number, and that's kind of like your file header. The previous page of that is page 18, and that is Appendix C, and that is where the credit debit authorization form. So when you're going through Appendix A, B, and C, the merchant will choose how they want to remunerate to FlexKom, and that is done through either ACH or it's done through a credit card transaction. And that's what the Appendix A, B, and C are about, and the video goes into great detail on that. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go back to the meeting dashboard, and I'm going to bring it back around. So hold on for one moment. Okay, and so what we'd want would be for Larry Holcomb to hit *6, and if Jeanne Mullen is here, she could hit *6 as well.
I'm here, Larry.
Okay, Larry, great. And Jeanne, if you want to, there you are.
Hello.
Hi. Okay, so Larry, kind of give us a little overview real quick about the actual signing of this contract. About how long on average do you think it takes?
It doesn't take that long. I mean, usually I leave an agreement with the merchant on my second visit and ask them to read it over, and I try to take a highlighter and I highlight every place they need to sign. If they want to go ahead and sign it, they can, even the initial spots at the bottom. And sometimes we'll circle, and the highlight doesn't show up when I send it to you all, I hope. But I even circle the part that says they can get out at any time with a written notice. And because when I go back, that's the part that they really, one part they'll say they noticed was they didn't have a contract period of a year or 2 years that they could get out with written notice. But the merchant agreement is not scary. It has a lot of legalese in it. But basically, I tell the customers, and I'm glad we use agreement, not contract, that word, but after I've explained FlexKom to them totally, I said, this is just the same thing I've told you, except in lawyer terms.
So, Jeanne, would you have any input on the length of time and the level of complexity of this contract? And Jeanne, by the way, has a great history with other companies. She's been a businesswoman for quite some time. Not like not say you're old. I know you're taking this wrong.
And I'm a dinosaur.
She has a great breadth of understanding of business. That's why I bring this up. So how about the complexity of this, Jeanne?
The thing is, it is an agreement, not a formal heavy-duty contract, because there is a 30-day out for a merchant as well as for FlexKom as part of the agreement. But it's just got the basic things that protect the merchant, protect FlexKom, protects you as a DMR, And we kept it as short and sweet as legally possible to keep the lawyers happy, because we know we have to keep our lawyers happy because, they go, if they had their way, it'd probably be a 40-page document, I'm sure. But, it's just something simple because, again, having an agreement is validation that we're going to honor the program that you're representing to the merchants and that they can rely on that. And, again, I guess when DMRs leave, that we still have an ability to go out and reach out to these people and continue that agreement with them. So it's not complicated. They just really have to make a decision on how much they want to put down and whether they want it to be ACH'd or done by credit card.
All right,
and
well, let's talk about that. So, let's jump back to Appendix A. And so with Appendix A, just go ahead and give me a quick synopsis of Appendix A.
Okay, Appendix A is for the merchant to know that we need to have at least $50 down and the maximum amount that they authorize us to withdraw from their account. This gives them a level of comfort to know that we're just not going to go into their account and take out more money than we're allowed. Two, when we set up with banks, and some banks in different states have different requirements, we can send this over to show that we're only going to be taking out like $300 or no more than $300 at any time. And so then the bank has a level of comfort to know that through our ACH process that this is not a high-risk business transaction. If we were allowed to go in and take out up to $10,000, they would probably want a lot more information. So it just kind of sends a level of comfort for the merchant as well as us. And again, this maximum amount also keeps us from hitting their bank account every day there's a transaction. We don't want to have to constantly hit and take out money because we're allowing the customer to, get this discount, and we want to make sure that we're getting the money to cover all this, plus the ability that they gained a customer and the customer's information. So it's real important that we're able to keep all this stuff easy for the merchant and easy for us, and then be able to pay out commissions to you guys.
Perfect. And Larry, with your average merchant, is $50 too little for them, or how do you approach that?
I mean, you're talking about the minimum or the maximum? We don't have a choice on the minimum.
Right. So with your average merchant, is $50 good as a minimum and the maximum, or do you try and get them? Do you try and fill them out, or how do you do that?
I think I try to get everybody to do at least a minimum of 100. I did 500 on mine. I think we had one of the restaurants that did 500. They say you may have already had the agreement from a merchant in Atlanta that I heard about one of my meetings. I think they chose 20,000 because they had 6 restaurants tied together. So there'll be people out there that understand the benefits of doing a larger number so their account's not hit as often. So I think a minimum is $100 for an antique store or the coffee shop that only has the $500 a day as an average sale. Not all their people are going to have FlexKom by the first. It's going to take a month, 2 months, 6 months. So they're not going to be giving discounts on that whole $500. It'll start out with $50 to $100, and it may take them 6 months. And with Jeanne's help, I told them they can raise that at any time. FlexKom will actually notify them if they're bumping that maximum a lot and they need to change it. Is that correct, Jeanne?
Correct. If they're, if we're finding that we have to go into their account more than once a week because their redemptions or their discounts are high, then we will definitely, have a conversation with the merchant and set a new level.
My merchants are pleased. I think recently when they started taking out the first drafts, that they got an email from FlexKom, and they appreciate that, being notified rather than just all of a sudden it taken out. Will there be one every time there's a draft taken, or do you know, Jeanne?
Yes, there will be an email and also a detailed statement sent to them as well.
That's great. Jeanne, am I wrong by quoting, and I try to explain this to a merchant that I usually hold my hands up and my thumb is the minimum and my forefinger is the maximum. I said, they're using it kind of like an escrow account. The reason FlexKom is doing this, for one reason, is so you don't have a nickel, dime, quarter, $1, $2 coming out of your checking account because your checking account would be 15 pages long at the end of the month. So it's for your benefit, too, that your account's not hit every day with the nickel dime. Is that correct? Is an escrow account a proper word?
Right. Yeah, well, it's a prepayment and definitely an escrow account because, again, we don't want, my background's accounting. I would hate to have to reconcile 31 entries every month for FlexKom. And if you go back and you look at your merchant's transactions each day, you're looking at, it could be $3 or $4 one day, it could be 20 or 40 the next, it could be 100, like on a weekend. So averaging it out for the week, they get four transactions out of their bank a month, easier for them to track. They can see their invoices each day, so they kind of know what's happening. And then when they get the detailed statement, when we send the detailed statement out, which will let them know the next day we're going to take this money out of their account. I think they're going to appreciate the fact that they just have very little reconciling to do with FlexKom. And as it says in the agreement, it will always be whole dollar amounts. So we're not going to take, like $152.10. It'll be $152.
Oh, that's great.
So
that's great.
Dollar amounts at each time.
It's great that you're sending a notification the day before the withdrawal. I think that's wonderful. I tell everybody, FlexKom is so transparent. They have nothing to hide. Even in your back office, somebody says, how am I going to track this? I said, if you got a minute, I'll pull mine up and show you it. They tell you the commissions you're getting back, how the money's taken out, when it's taken out. I said, everything's transparent. We hide nothing from you, so you feel very comfortable with FlexKom right from the start.
Excellent. Now, we got about, looks like 14 minutes. So in that 14 minutes, we want to cover the choices of Appendix B and then C. So, Jeanne, if you can real quick give us why would somebody go with Appendix B? What does that mean for them? And then what does the choice of Appendix C mean?
Okay, Appendix B is for us to ACH, which is like an e-check where we can go into the merchant's bank account and withdraw those funds. And that's, of course, all handled through our credit card ACH processor. The other one is for a credit card or a debit card. The reason we have two different forms is there are some banks who require us to send like Appendix B, we would have to send it to the bank to show that an actual signature on the account authorized us to go ahead and do this each month or to do this each time. So these are things that help us in the states that have higher regulations and stuff as far as ACH requirements. In some states, in some banks, you just initiate an ACH and they send the money. So that's what Appendix B is. And like C, it's a credit or debit card, and we have that information there so that we can go ahead and just process those each month or each week as necessary. And I'm sure a lot of merchants have seen we haven't started taking we've been doing the prepayments, and as we start automating the process, and that's what takes long, going and getting everything set up into an automated system with the payments that we'll be taking each week. So we're trying to get all that set up. We've tested the program a little bit, and I'm not real happy with how much work it takes us to automate it with. So as they finally tweak that, then we'll start doing an automated process. And the merchants will then know each week, what day each week that we will be accessing their account if we need funds. So, and we'll send them an email letting them know that every Thursday we plan to reconcile up to the maximum amount. If they drop below $50, they can see in their back office that with their transactions, they'll know whether they're below $50 or not. So I think it'll make it smoother and easier for them as well.
Jeanne, can I ask you a question?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So because a merchant's giving out apps, he's getting a commission. That commission will go into his escrow account with FlexKom, correct?
Right. What we do is the invoice, the statement that will send will show the total discount for that week period, the total matching funds allocation, and then we will then deduct what we collect from them, the commissions that they earn. And once again, if we send a payment to a merchant through HyperWallet, they automatically deduct 50 cents from the total that we send, and then they charge a monthly fee of $1.50. So to start with, I don't want merchants losing $2 because I send them a transaction every week, or up to possibly $2 a month. So this way, it's less that they have to pay us, and they'll have the detail they need to do their accounting, but it's less they have to pay us, and they'll see I did. This is the commissions I earned. So, and again, they'll see all the commissions they earn at the end of the year when we send out those lovely tax forms to them as well. But that way we're just pulling less money.
The second question is, so the commission goes into that escrow account. Cash back is when a customer comes in and pays $100 with their money on their app. Is that correct? That goes in that goes in escrow too?
That right now we'll be netting all those. And again, if there's a time at the end of that week where, let's say, they've redeemed more than they owe us, then they will get a payment through HyperWallet.
Why can't that? Dumb question. I don't want to question all at all, but why couldn't they just go into their checking account as an overage, just like a deposit?
Because we can't pay directly into a checking account. We have to use a third-party processor like HyperWallet. And again, this is, and the fees for us to directly deposit is like $6.
So that goes back to
bank account, yeah.
That goes back to what we were originally told, that the merchant, as an individual, will get to collect that overage, so he could actually have that put in his name if he wants to. Is that, or does it matter? Right.
Once the volume starts getting up, then we will probably, right now when their commissions are maybe $3 or $4, there's no great benefit. When their commissions start to get to be $25 to $50, we will definitely start sending those through HyperWallet. Because, one, we would hope they would get the prepaid FlexKom card and use that, and then they would have that money to do whatever they wanted to do with as well. But when you first get started, I just don't want to have them see fees coming out and saying, wow, I just earned $3 in commissions and it cost me $2 to get it.
So will that happen once a week or once a month as far as?
It'll be weekly as we start. Okay. We're going to do everybody on a weekly basis. And then, if somebody doesn't have a whole lot of volume at first, they may just get an email that says we'll do any transactions the following week. Because, again, I don't, to go take $5 out of somebody's account, it's really not worth anybody's effort.
I think it will be, I think by next year, 6 months to a year, honestly, merchants will have more coming in than they have going out.
Well, hopefully some will have more coming in, and then we'll have more going out, because if we don't have anything coming in, then we're doing something wrong.
Yeah, what I mean, when because those apps are out shopping it, they're giving money away at their store, but those customers are out shopping at 50 stores.
Right.
So, exactly.
I think at one point in time, I think they'll actually get more in than they give out.
We'll be paying out a lot of merchants and collecting from a lot of merchants, so it'll be, hopefully it'll be a nice even exchange. But a lot of your seasonal merchants will probably see higher commissions during their slow time, because they're not giving as many discounts out. And then when they hit their big discount season, then, it'll work the other way. So
I don't tell merchants, but when I first got in FlexKom in October as a business person, I did the numbers in my head, how much I'm going to give out as commissions, how much I'm going to get back in, and give out as discounts, how much I'm going to give out as commissions, how much I'm going to get paid by people paying me with their Flex money. And that may be a wash, and I don't tell that to merchants, but the beauty of a loyalty rewards program is not how much you give away, how much you get in. At the end of the year.
And the nice thing is they get that money up front. That customer comes in and spends that money there, and they have that money up front.
Up front. Well, the beauty of the loyalty rewards program, what it does is customers shop more, and you've got new customers. So at the end of the year, their bottom line or their gross is larger than it was the year before.
Exactly. Correct.
If they will see a 5 to, as we use the example of Esker told us from Turkey, they saw a 5 to 30% increase after 1 year with the loyalty rewards program. That's the beauty of a loyalty rewards program. It's not really the giving in and giving out.
And they should see a great decrease in their advertising expenses.
Oh, yes. I hope to save $20,000-$30,000 personally on my advertising for FlexKom this coming year.
You save on advertising, yet you're getting better results from this advertising method.
It's the dread. You pay after you only pay after you've been paid. That's what I like.
That's right.
Well, Jeanne, I can't wait to watch your video. It looks very self-explanatory. Thank you so much.
Okay, don't judge me too hard on that. That was like Larry said, Jeanne, I need you to do this. So no practice. I just went for it.
That's great.
You did a great job.
Well, as soon as we get off the call, I'm going to send it to about 40 people that's on my email list. And sometimes they don't get on the call, so they'll get this in a few minutes.
Okay, perfect. And so just kind of fleshing out how the rest of this week's going to work, tomorrow we'll cover the VIP terminal placement. And this is, once again, like Larry would tell you, this is that VIP terminal that you never took out of the box. It's in perfect condition. And we'll talk about the form that you're going to use to place that terminal with the merchant. You're also going to need to give up the ownership of that terminal with the merchant. So you're going to use this document that we talked about today to set up the account for the merchant, and we'll have a form that we're going to talk about tomorrow where you give up ownership as a VIP to the merchant with this pristine, like new terminal. Okay? And then we're going to sew together, and hopefully Larry can be on that call with us tomorrow. We'll have him kibitzing, giving us pointers all along. And then by the end of this week, we will have sewn all these videos for the merchant scenarios together. And then we'll have that. We'll send that out to everybody. Make it available in your back office. Actually, we'll probably just make it available in your back office. And on this conference call, we'll drive you to that. We'll show you exactly where that PDF is that has these links to these videos in sequence and to the whole what do you call it? The playlist. We can just play it end to end to end to end, and it takes you from how to go out and practice your pitch, go out, find a merchant, target that merchant, go and get that merchant to be convinced to sign up with you, create the merchant account online, and complete this form and any other forms that are required to get the terminal in the merchant's hands and give them ownership, and then how to add the terminals and activate the cards in the back office. And then the last video would be how to add the pictures and put the addressing in. We've already covered that. We're going to shoot a new video for that. So that will flesh out this week. You'll have a video tutorial sequence that will take you through all of that. And then down the road, when Europe delivers us from Flex Academy, that certification pathway, then we'll give you that. All right, so my name is Larry Skinner. I am the Chief Operations Officer from FlexKom America Incorporated. Larry Holcomb was with us. Was kind enough to give us pointers on this process. You want to say bye, Larry?
Bye. Thank you all. Larry, quick question. I had 3 or 4 people contact me through my email address, and they've lost their upline, or like George said, the upline split. So anybody that wants to call on me, you're more than welcome to b46@gmail.com. I don't mind helping anybody.
Awesome. This is an awesome man who has that kind heart and that vision of the entire process. Larry will tell you that the more successful you are, the more successful he's going to be. You're going to be lighting up other cities around this country, and when Larry can say, somebody comes to visit him in Ringgold, Georgia, and they say, well, I'm from Lompoc, California, and here, put Lompoc in this app and see how many terminals there, and there's terminals there, and he doesn't have to worry about what city it is. That's going to help him sell in Ringgold and anywhere else.
Thank you, Larry.
Thank you, Larry. So we're going to wrap this one up. This will be this audio version of this conference call. The archive will be put up on our YouTube channel, and will also be associated with the playlist, so that you'll have in one playlist not only the videos for actually how to fill out this form that was done by our co-CEO, JEANNE Mullen, but you'll also have this conference call in there so you can hear Larry tell you little pointers about this form and so forth. So we're giving you this full spectrum answer to how do I go out and sign up a merchant now. Already got a couple emails where people said it was kind of mean the way that I said you have no more excuses. You have no more excuses as a DMR. We have this video. It's for you. It's set up. It's already, you have enough to go out and sign up a merchant. We walk you through each of the forms. No one on this call, no DMR in the United States has any excuse for not signing up those partners. And well, by the end of next week, not signing up a partner, because we're going to have everything covered there. But by the end of this week, you will have no excuse for not signing up a merchant. You can be afraid all you want, but we talked about how you get yourself prepped for that first merchant encounter, and the second and the third and the 15th. We've told you about that. We've got the videos for you. We've got the tutorials in there for you. Keep watching it until you feel comfortable. Keep practicing your spiel until you feel comfortable. We have a virtual upline. So for those like George K. was just talking about and Larry Holcomb was talking about, if you feel abandoned by your upline, you don't need them. You have us. We're here. We got these videos for you. Larry just gave you his contact information. He's here to help you. We can make you successful if you engage with us. So engage with us every day. Join us on the YouTube channel, and you will be able to close merchants with ease, with confidence from watching these videos and attending these conference calls. And once again, for the next few weeks, we're not going to be doing the Q&A format. We're going to be doing the hard-nosed tutorial format. You got no excuse at the end of this week that you can't be signing up merchants. We worked incredible hours to get those terminals in your hands. 2,500 terminals are out there in America. Let's get them all placed right now. Thank you very much. We'll talk to you guys at 6 p.m. Pacific tomorrow. Tomorrow is Wednesday, so the morning starts out with the Blog Talk. Blog Talk Radio is the number for that is 646-716-8438. That's 646-716-8438. You could also engage with them by going to thenextlevelteam.net. That's thenextlevelteam.net. Engage with our country manager, Bill Resides, and his team on the Blog Talk Radio. That's live every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday at 7 a.m. Pacific. That makes it 10 a.m. Eastern. And then for the next couple of days, Volker will not be doing his webinar. He has other engagements, so he has to commit to those and get those done. But at 6 p.m. Pacific, every weekday except for this holiday for Labor Day, we are at 6 p.m. Pacific, 9 p.m. Eastern. We will talk to you tomorrow. Thank you very much, everybody. Good night.